how to apply for a USA visa. And first of all, I want to know some different types of immigration visas.
Yes, absolutely. So when someone thinks about immigration visas, you can actually categorize them in two broad categories. One is the family-based petition, number one. The other is the employment-based petition. So let's first discuss about the family-based petition.
Sure.
Family-based petition means someone who is married to a United States citizen, a children of a U.S. citizen, applying for their parents or spouses, siblings. So this is all family-based petition. And then there is employment-based petition, which we have extraordinary ability, EB-1A. We have EB-2, national interest waiver. We have EB-3 for employees. And even within EB-3, we have employees of varying different skill sets. For example, skilled, unskilled, and professional. So when someone thinks about immigration, again, it comes into two broad categories, but we also have some other non-immigrant categories. For example, if someone does not intend to obtain a green card, but want to invest in the United States, one of the most popular category is E2. And E2 is not reserved for everyone, but the US and Bangladesh has a treaty which allows citizens of Bangladesh to apply for E2 visa if they make an investment in business in the United States. And the good news about E2 is it does not have a minimum threshold, unlike EB5, which is another investment category visa. But EB5 leads to green card. However, E2 does not lead to green card, but it allows someone to come to US to own and operate their business and live in the US so long as their business is operational.
Thank you, ma'am. So if someone wants to be an immigrant, so which category should to apply first? Which one you prefer as immigrant, non-immigrant, or a visitor visa?
So, it depends on someone's personal circumstances. Each person have very unique circumstance. If someone wants to come here, let's say as a student, so that will definitely give them a lot of credentials. That's a non-immigrant category, but getting a degree in the United States open up a lot of opportunities. And from there onward, students who are coming to study in the US, they look for a path, for example, H-1B, which is a lottery-based visa system that employers usually file. And it's extremely popular in the STEM field, like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So most of the engineers from Bangladeshi origin, they do end up getting H-1B. And then ultimately the employer decide whether they want to apply for EB-2 or EB-3, whichever is more fitting. That's the path that have been taken by many in the past. Something that I'm seeing a trend is EB-1A, extraordinary ability. We have Bangladeshis who are doing wonderful contributions in many areas, in science and engineering and arts and humanities. And we are seeing their contribution in Bangladesh worldwide. And I encourage those people to consider EB-1A. Sometimes people feel discouraged because they think they need to have an award of a major recognition, an international award. That is one of the criteria, but there are many more. For example, if they have been a judge, or have, evaluated works of others, or they have had membership in organization where it's extremely hard to acquire that membership. So EB-1A is something that I do encourage people to look into. Yes, it is difficult, but if we look into someone's background and see that they meet the criteria, we encourage them to apply for EB-1A. Then there's EB-2 NIW. NIW stands for National Interest Waiver. If someone does something, a work that could be of substantial merit and of national importance in the United States, it's likely they may qualify for EB-2 NIW, but note all these categories have a very high evidentiary burden. And that is our task, to evaluate the evidence and making sure that the candidates meet the requirement. And there is EB-3, which is another extremely popular category, but EB-3 is a process that's driven by US employer, because the first step has to be done by the United States employer. They need to get a permission from the US Department of Labor, which is called a PERM process, where they'll have to demonstrate that they were unable to find any employees in the United States, which is why they're hiring foreign employee. And foreign employee are supposed to pay a higher wage, which we call is the prevailing wage. So sometimes it's hard to find employer because of these regulatory requirements, because the employer take these steps and then it gets expensive for them. But nevertheless, it's still one of the best category to attract talent from foreign countries.